Okay, I guess I'll wait a couple seconds to see if some of you guys hop on. I have a confession to make. I'm a little nervous. My palms are sweating because I don't know why. I'll wait a little bit. I was going to do a Periscope, but I don't really know much about Periscope, and I know a lot of my friends are, hi Christian! A lot of my friends and teammates are on Facebook, so I thought this is probably better. Hi Benj! Hi Megan! Hey! So, I'll wait a little bit. My palms are sweaty. I'm so excited. I feel a little nervous because this is new. Doing something new always makes me giddy, excited, and kind of a little nervous, but I'm super excited to try this out. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about how I became one of those crazy route girls, because I've been thinking a lot about this recently with since coming back from conference and all of the crazy, amazing bonuses. Aw, I miss you too, Benny. Aw, thanks, Tiff. You guys are gonna get me distracted. Okay, so all these awesome bonuses, and with the Ruby bonus rolling out, it just got me thinking about when I started and how I got involved in this crazy rap business. And so I just wanted to share my story kind of briefly and then talk about the importance of one of the lessons in there. But just kind of quickly, my husband and I were in full-time ministry before I started this business. Actually, he was. After 6 years of struggling with infertility, we became foster parents, and went from 0 kids to 3 kids in 5 months. And so it was always my dream to be able to stay home with our children, you know, one day whenever we got them. But I didn't, we were in ministry, and it was Ben, and then I came home from, you know, working at a church. And so we were just living on one income, and that's okay. I mean, in ministry, you're not in it for the money. Like, you're in it to help people and because it's your call. But we went from a family of 2 to a family of 5. And so our finances really kind of took a hit. And, like, we were living in Phoenix at the time, crazy, hey Liv, crazy summer heat. And I remember we were driving this like beat up Mitsubishi Lancer. I mean, it was great at the time, but when we crammed all 3 kids in the back seat, the air conditioning wouldn't reach them, and I would pull them out of the back seat. My 3-month-old baby was like dripping in sweat, red face, you know, and I just remember feeling like, God, I can't even, my babies are burning up in the backseat of this car, and we didn't have money to buy a new car. Like, there wasn't an extra $300 in our budget to like even afford a car payment. And so I remember it was November 2014, and I guess the end of October, Ben and I were kind of thinking about starting a business, and we had to generate some sort of extra income. Going back to work for me just wasn't an option. Like, I wasn't gonna, you know, after being fighting to be a mom for 6 years and finally having my babies, that there was no way on this planet I was gonna, you know, go back to work and leave them with somebody else. Like, I fought hard to be a mom, and so I was gonna make a way to earn extra income and not leave them, and I didn't know how. But I remember praying, like, God, give us an option. Like, what do we do? And 2 weeks before my best friend reached out to me about the business, we were praying for, you know, and looking into. We were reading, actually, friends of ours recommended the book The Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. And if you've never read that book, I highly recommend that you read it, because it is life changing when it comes to business. Because, oh yeah, it was a hot box. The cash flow quadrant will transform your mind about business and finances. And everybody in the whole world fits into one of these 4 quadrants. You're either, I might butcher it, but you're either, you know, you're the employee. You're going to go to work, do what you got to do, collect a paycheck, maybe get a bonus or a raise here or there if you do really good, and maybe get a pension, you know, at the end of your, you know, 50 years or 30 years of working, you know. Or you're the small business owner, you know, you've got a little bit more leeway, a little extra more money, but you're still chained to your office. Or you're the large business owner, or you're the investor, you know. And reading that, Ben and I are like, we're in, large business owner, where you got a system going and you can walk away for a little bit and still make money, or you're the investor, which is what everybody wants to be, where you've got all this money and you can invest in places and then you can just leave for a year at a time and your money's still coming in. And so we were like, we want to be that, but how do we do that? Even a large business owner would be awesome, where we can get our money generated, where we can just have live our life, have a business and a system going where we have money coming in, and it frees us up to be able to do what God's placed on our hearts to do, and frees us up to live, And so we were like, I'm not a college, neither one of us went to college. I mean, we're smart people, but we just didn't go to college. And, we went straight into ministry out of high school. We're like, well, how do we start a business and generate residual income with no college degree? That just doesn't happen. That's not the American way, American way is go to college after high school, even if you don't know what to do, get into, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt, and just maybe, if you're one of the lucky ones, you'll be successful. And that just never sounded good to me. So here we are. New parents to 3 children, just adopted our kids, and we are just looking for a way to make $300 to $500 extra a month. That would be life-changing for us. We could get a car. Our kids wouldn't be burning up in the back seat of the vehicle in Phoenix, And my best friend messaged me after I had watched her for 4 months as a total skeptic. I was about to unfollow her. I wouldn't have, I was like, if she wasn't my best friend, I was about, I would have unfollowed her. I was like, there's no way this people's bellies, and wraps, and hair growing in 10 days. It just seemed like a fraud to me. But then I saw her get a $10,000 bonus, and it captured my attention because I knew her. I knew she wasn't a liar. I knew she wasn't a fraud. So I was like, well, okay, I'll listen to what she has to say. And she messaged me a week after Ben and I had been praying for an opportunity to change our finances. And she said, listen, I think you'd be awesome at this business. Do you have a couple minutes to talk? And so I texted her back and I said, okay, 2 things. 1, I want to know what these products are, because if they're bogus, I don't want anything to do with them. I'm not interested in any artificial things, in my body. I want it clean and natural. And number 2, what's the deal with the business? Is it real money and does it work? And she texted me back and she said, yes, it's all natural products. They're, botanical, plant-based ingredients. It's safe for your body. And 2, yeah, the business works. I just got a $10,000 bonus, and this is what it is. And so I called her, and as I was strolling Target, per usual, and she explained the business to me and said it's no risk, it's $99 and you become a distributor and you can earn as little or as much money as you want. There's nobody breathing down your neck. There's no sales quota you have to meet. There's no inventory you have to take. It's up to you. You set your own goals and you go as fast or as steady as you like to go. And so I was like, okay, sure, sounds great. I mean, I was looking for an opportunity, an option, and this presented itself. And I'll be honest, I was the biggest skeptic before my box came. When my business builder kit came, I was still a skeptic. I put the wrap on, still a skeptic. 45 minutes later, and an inch around my belly, lighter, I was a believer. And I was instantly texting my sisters, my mom, my friends, this is stupid. I remember running around my house like a wild woman. This is stupid. This actually works. This is ridiculous. This works. And I just knew in that moment, after I personally experienced one of the wraps and the results, I knew in that moment, I had a gold mine in my hands if I would take it and run with it. And so I'll be honest, I'm a people pleaser. I don't do well with rejection. I have a problem, with, not a problem, that's not the right word, but insecurity has always been a lifelong battle for me, and worrying about what people think. So in the beginning of my business, I fought with that. I fought with what people would think about me. I fought with, am I going to look like one of those crazy people, selling out to something? But I just went with it, and I just knew that nobody else was going to pay my bills. I knew that this was an answer to my prayers. I knew that it was real products with real results. I knew that it was a real business, and in 2 months, Ben and I were just praying, $300 would be awesome, extra, in a month. And I made that my first month in the business. The second month, I promoted to Ruby, and then actually the second month, I double promoted Ruby then Emerald. So I was earning... in my second month of the business, I was pulling in $600, I think, $600 to $800 in my second month. And then that year, I 5 months later, I went diamond and earned the $20,000 bonus. Next month later, I went double diamond, earned the $15,000 bonus. And then this month, I'm pushing for triple. So I say all that to say our life was transformed. And that's how I became a crazy rap girl. And I'll say this. I was never a person that would ever reach out to my friend. I watched her. I was one of those silent stalkers, like where I would just like pick up the phone and look at her pictures and be like, yeah, there's no way that this stuff is real. Like that's a joke. And I would have never reached out to her. I would have never said, hey, Ben and I are hurting financially and I want to put my daughter in dance class and preschool and I don't have the money. Like we need a car with air conditioning and the Phoenix heat. And you know, my kids are coming out of a 5-minute car ride and my kids are dripping in sweat. Like I don't have $300 to buy a new car that's bigger with air conditioning. I don't have that. I would have never messaged her to say, hey, help me out. But she reached out to me. Like I was praying. I'm going to cry. I was praying and Ben and I were praying for an opportunity that God would change our family. That selling tables, you know, or making headbands to sell on Etsy just wasn't going to cut it. Like I needed something quick and I needed it fast. And I needed a system that would set itself up that would generate residual income for us. And we got that. I'm getting emotional. This is weird. But it changed our life. And I say this to say to all my It Works distributors who are watching, like, if you're afraid to message somebody, I say with all love and encouragement, like get over yourself and message that person. Because if Sherry hadn't messaged me, why am I crying? Oh my word. If Sherry hadn't messaged me, my children wouldn't be in the best preschool that they could be in, you know, learning Spanish and their ABCs and getting social interaction. My daughter wouldn't be in dance class. Ben and I wouldn't be getting out of debt. I wouldn't have 2 cars with perfect air conditioning, you know, that work fine. My kids aren't dripping in sweat when I pull them out of the van. Like our lives are completely different because my friend reached out to me and messaged me, whether she thought I'd be good at it or not. Like she reached out to me. So I say this, if you're an It Works distributor, you owe it to the people within your reach to reach out and ask and just ask and say, hey, like, do you have 10 minutes? I want to share my story. Or, you know, like, Tiffany, I know, like, why am I so emotional? I never get emotional about this. But it's because I think the reality of it is life-changing. It's real products that really work. I'm telling you as a big skeptic turned biggest believer, it's real money. There's no gimmick. If you're praying and looking for a way to generate residual income, to free your family, whatever your situation is, like if somebody's reached out to you and has said, hey, listen, this is what my business is about and I think you'd be incredible at it, then reach back to them, answer them. And if you're a distributor who hasn't reached out, I challenge you, find those people in your circle and reach out to them because you owe it to them to offer them a way to free them up. So I'm going to end here because this is way longer than I expected it to be. But I just wanted to share my story. And I wanted to share the importance of messaging people because you don't know whose life you have the ability to transform just by opening up your mouth and saying, hey, this is my story. This is what it's done for our family. Would you be willing or would you be interested in coming along too? So this was so fun. I'll probably do this again this week. So, okay, bye guys. Mwah.